So many people. It's great to have you guys on here. Congratulations to all of you on this film. I'll ask a few questions and we can open it up for some audience questions. But Justin, I think like you, I was very fascinated by this story, partially because there's so much mystery around it, and it seems like a challenge to me to put that kind of story on screen. But I think what is so wonderful about your film is the complete world that you build around John. Can you talk a bit more about how you went about doing that?
And as I shared earlier about my first experience with the news, and it really stuck with me. And then Alex Perry, who's here today, he wrote an amazing article for Outside Magazine, and it really struck me. He really found a window in through the father, Patrick, and so that really kind of stayed with me. And then around 2021, I got a call from Ellen and Eric from Gotham, and they shared with me independently. Ben Rickley was working on the script, and when I read it, I felt like those two characters, Mira and Melanie, that I was kind of looking for. Because I think Mira's kind of worldview kind of is very close to my worldview, and I felt like it'd be interesting to try to kind of start the film with more of a procedural, investigative way, and really kind of try to get in there and connect with John. And yeah, I mean, it was like 3 years of working with Ben on the project. After I've read the script, actually, I jumped on the computer and I'm Googling and I'm like, what's real, what's not? And it was really interesting because with the article, and also I think John Chow's Instagram is still on, so I really kind of read there, and he also his journal. My first thing was I started questioning, like did this really happen? Did the arrow really kind of hit the Bible? Did it really kind of end on that verse? And I thought it was going to be a really interesting exercise to say, hey, stop questioning it and really start examining him as a storyteller. And it was very evident that he was influenced by adventure novels and, Hollywood films. And so, we went down this path of developing it and trying to really kind of create an aesthetic, but also a way of using certain genre devices to try to kind of connect the gaps.
Thank you. Sky, I think your performance is amazing, extraordinary. There's a kind of interiority to this character, and I'm wondering if you can say a bit more about how you went about approaching this role.
Yeah, for sure. The first time I heard about John was my agent sent through his Wikipedia page, and I read, and then I saw some of the things that people had said online about him. I think everyone deserves dignity. I think all people deserve dignity, even, regardless of if you align with their worldviews or not. And I felt just very strongly about that. So we just went around about trying to understand and really humanize someone who we felt hadn't been offered dignity in his death. That was something that was really important to me.
Justin, how did you find your amazing leading man?
It was interesting, 2023 at the BF5 in London, they were having a first time ever a screening of Bear Luck Tomorrow. And I went in the green room, and then this kid walks in, and it's Sky, and I said, oh, hey, what are you doing here? And he said, oh, I'm gonna do a spoken word, before your screening. I was like, oh, cool. And he kind of blew me away, but I'm sitting there going, wait, he looks like John Chow. I mean, could it be? this easy? You know, like, but we did, but then when I came back, our amazing casting director, Jessica Kelly, we talked and we said, let's go for a worldwide search. And Sky popped up, and it was incredible, but it was a very kind of rigorous process in auditioning, and it was weird because it was kind of global. So I remember I was doing a session with him. I was in Tokyo at the time, he was in London, and we're doing it over Zoom. I'd never done anything like that. And but once I was able to see him kind of like come through the screen, I felt like we found our John, and Sky was incredible. I mean, with any independent film, I mean, we had ups and downs, you know, we're gonna make it, it stopped. He just went by himself, and he was traveling around the world, and I would be FaceTiming with him in Oklahoma, you know, everywhere, and just having these dialogue as we're developing the character.
All right, we're gonna open it up to the audience. If you have a question, please raise your hand up high. I can see. All right. You in the red.
Hi, first I'd like to congratulate you guys on this beautiful project. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Setting for context, I'm the kind of guy when I get in the car, I'm not going to play classical music, I'm taking the aux cord. However, when watching this film, there were these piano solos that I found myself bobbing my head along to, and I was just like, wow, this score is amazing. So I'm just wondering if you could talk a little bit about that process and that went into that. Thank you.
So our composer, Nate Alexander, he's here. Nate, where are you? It was, you know, we started with themes, and in this case, we were able to find John's theme early, but then we also were playing a lot more like from the inside out, which was kind of John's character theme. But then at the same time, I felt like Port Blair and, you know, India was such its own character. We started developing kind of themes from outside in, and so it kind of, you know, along with Dylan, our amazing editor, we went and kind of, we had these discussions, and he would come in and really kind of propose things, and it was pretty crazy. Our post-production was just kind of 10 weeks, so for him to kind of come in and we'd have this discourse and develop it, you know, we wanted something to kind of match the aspiration of John Chow, you know, and his influences. So anything we had, we did want it to kind of, we definitely wanted to kind of connect. I think one of the big themes of this film is connection, and I think that goes all the way to the score.
Yes.
Scotty and Justin, first of all, thanks for reaching out to treat with dignity someone who maybe doesn't share the same worldview as you said as an evangelical. I appreciate that. How did you, this is the question of creating the character, how, it seems to me whenever you have a Christian character in a movie, the move to make them more sympathetic is to give them doubt. And John Chow has a moment of doubt, but for so much of it, it's just solid faith. How did you achieve the level of sympathy? How did you achieve such a sympathetic character and maintain such strong conviction?
Thank you for your question. John, I think, always felt incredibly sincere to us. I think that's on the page. And I think that's him as a person, and from the accounts that I read, from friends, I guess the more I got to be in touch with the people and the kind of people that he was around, and the more I got to, I went out to Oklahoma and I spoke to a lot of people some people who knew him, and I spoke to different people at ORU, and I've never really been shown or welcomed with such generosity in any place ever like that. That was absolutely extraordinary and flipped every preconception I thought I had about that place and what that place might be on its head. I really found family there, I really found friends there. I think you can't help but empathize people when you sit down and break bread with them. Yeah, that's definitely something I hope we do more of.
Yeah, and, you know, for me, I mean, when the news broke, he could have been an alien, you know, and to me, he was like the last character in developing it in like 3 years working on it. I was trying to find my connection to John, you know, someone who was kind of brought up, who's born into a very nurturing Christian family. And I think early on we talked about, you know, I think Sky kind of asked, like, how are we gonna treat this? Should I be judging? I said, no, let's just, you know, let's start really kind of be John. And we weren't trying to, you know, find facts. We just really wanted to find connection. And that's how we were, we built our John that way.
Ooh, lots of questions. Yes, over here.
First of all, thank you. John's character and bringing his story to life was fantastic and touching. I'm curious about the inspector and her story in real life. She was so feisty and she fought for the principles she believed in. So could you speak to that a little bit more, please?
That was, it started off with Ben Ripley, our writer, you know. He did an amazing job. And really, for about 3 years, you know, I was really thinking about how the opportunity to maybe bring this to life. And it really was that character of Mira. And Radhika, who did an amazing job. She wishes she was here. She actually was pregnant when we were shooting, and she just had the baby 6 weeks ago. And the doctor said the altitude's too high, so so you had this, you know, she just came in. I think Radhika was amazing because once in many ways, she doesn't have a lot of real estate. So we had to talk a lot about that character and build that character up. And so we had a lot of conversation, Radhika and I, and most of it was not on screen. And she just took it and just built this amazing character.
We have time for one more. Okay, you in the very, very back, waving. Yep, you.
Question for Justin.
Oh, sorry, it's the person standing. Yep, you.
I think that's something that, to me, I feel like, that was my connection to John. Like, I feel like in many ways in life, you can make a decision, 2 decisions, 3 down, we all get a little lost. To me, it was not about like judging his commitment to his mission. That's something that, we talked a lot about. If you want to maybe share a little bit of that.
I think that's definitely something for people to take what they deem is right from that. But I think for us, the real tragedy was just how John missed these people and these missed connections between him, his father, even his mother, and how fantasies and dreams are beautiful places to dive into and get lost in, but they're dangerous places to never be found. And I think that was definitely something that we really wanted to hit home.
I'm sorry we can't get to all of your questions, but I want to thank the entire Lost Days team.